Hey everyone, welcome to Lead Docket Free Help. I'm Erica with Vine Skills. Also got Ivan here with us from the Lead Docket team. And today we are going to cover some new features within Lead Docket. You may have seen those already in your org, but if not, let's take a peek and just see what those look like for us, shall we?
Do it.
Let's do it.
This is brand new, by the way. I think it was like 2 days ago or something that was been released. So this is awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. So here we are in our Vine Skills dashboard. Remember, this is just our testing environment. It's a sandbox. So if it doesn't quite look like your lead docket, that's okay. But it'll give you the gist of the new features we have. Anyone that you want me to start with in particular, Ivan?
No, go for
No?
it.
Go for
No,
it. All right.
yeah.
So one of the first things I noticed is that instead of offices over here under manage, now we have locations. So what that allows is the ability to add in an office, right? Those will function the same way that those offices were for you before. But we also have the ability to add in a region. So this can be helpful if you have a lot of firms in a particular part of the country and you want to run some reporting based off of multiple offices within that geographical region. All right, so to piggyback off of that, here under filter, we have this new filter option in the dashboard, right? That's cool. So we can filter by those regions. That's why I wanted to show you guys that first. And then we can filter by office and we can filter by user. So let's just play around with one and see what we get. And you can select multiple. So if you select too many, you might not get any results if it's a little bit too restrictive, right? So let's try maybe just one. Let's try Memphis office, see what happens. Oh, we got one.
Yeah.
Great.
Now I want to point out one other thing that is interesting in here is it also filters the opportunity box. Can you see that
Yes.
filtered at the top? So that filters if you set at the opportunity level the integration to have an office. If it doesn't have an office at the integration level, it just shows everything. So it shows all the opportunities that are not presetted to an office, plus the ones that are presetted to this specific office, but it will not show opportunities to other offices. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
Yeah,
So then
so
if we remove that filter, we see that that filtered next to opportunities goes away.
that's right. That's right. And see how we have one office at which is like Office Vine Skills something main. Yeah, so
Mhm.
go ahead and filter the office to that. Let's
Oh,
see. Yeah, go ahead and filter to the Vine Skill mains office. Boom. So now that one is in there, but actually see how all the other ones are unassigned. So they're gonna show to all offices, all the ones that are unassigned. If you filter to another office, that Vine Skills main is gonna go away. That makes sense.
it does.
The idea behind it is to, oh, I see how it changes it becomes source as a column there. Now it
Oh,
shows,
yeah.
see how it says source instead of office?
Hmm.
That's interesting. I think the idea behind there is firms who have different offices that truly operate kind of as separate teams and separate companies, not companies, but separate offices there. They now have the ability to really work their leads and
Right.
not be mingled with everybody's leads.
Right. I think that can be great for if you have a really big intake team too. That way, if you have, 20 plus chase leads, that can get a little overwhelming. So if you want to just tailor that down to the leads that you're chasing, like let's do you, Ivan. I think you have some. I don't have any right now, but yeah, see there, it went from being that list where you had to scroll within it. It was so many. Now we're just down to these two.
Another interesting thing is that it also filters messages and tasks. So right there on the left side, see how if you scroll down a bit, it's only my messages and it's only my tasks.
And only updated recently updated
Yes,
leads.
recently it's filtered. Yeah, it's all filtered now. So it really becomes like a personalized version of the intake dashboard.
That's great. Love that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on the location, region, or the filter?
No, just to say that the region is something that either we have to turn it on, you need to have like the super admin permissions to turn it on and off. It's a flag that's turned on by either us if we were working with Vine Skills or by FileVine directly. So you reach out to your rep and ask them to turn it on. Because by default, if you go in there, so if you go back to manage and locations, you will not see that regions tab at the top or there. Yeah, it's not gonna show up at all if you don't have that turned on. We did it here to show, but that's the idea. You set some regions here, and then you go to the office and you assign an office to each one of the regions. But if
Got
you don't see it, don't freak out. It's just because it's not
it.
default on, right? It's just something that you have to ask somebody to turn it on for you.
Right, because obviously a smaller firm wouldn't have a use for that, right? It would be our bigger firms across the country, I think that would benefit most from that. Yeah.
I think it's gonna, yeah, be on a need basis there.
Right, right. Cool. Awesome. All right, so let's look at duplicating a lead. Let me pick one. Which one should I choose?
Oof, they're all, yeah,
I'm gonna pick this one for you, Ivan.
do it.
All right, so if we're within a lead and we want to duplicate this lead, this button here is new and it will allow you to do just that. Now, we'll talk about some ways to do this and best practices, as well as some ways to not do this. But a common instance that comes to mind would be if you are in the habit at your firm of making separate leads for like a workers' comp case, right? Rather than having the workers' comp and the PI be together. Maybe you want to have that separate. So if you click duplicate, it's going to ask you if you're sure. You'll hit yes. And now we see everything that was in this lead carries over into a new one. Now, something, Ivan, I think we talked about this during our meeting. We do not recommend, right, doing this as a way to kind of add on companions or passengers, right?
Yes, we gotta be careful with that. So we're now from now on gonna start to advise our clients just to be careful with that. And the reason is, see how right now, Erica is creating a new lead or copy that lead, but she's still editing the same contact. So if you go ahead and type in, just for the sake of it, just type after Ivan, just type Ivan Chu. Just put Ivan, yeah. So she, let's say you say, oh, I'm gonna put Ivan's mom or Ivan's son in here, and I duplicate the lead and then I change the name. What you're doing there is you're changing the Ivan test contact card. You're not creating a new one. So if you go ahead and save that lead, now you change the original lead from Ivan test one to whatever this new edit it is. So you got to be very careful. Sometimes I have clients that come back to us and say, I have a mother and a daughter. And whenever I change something on the daughter, it changes on the mother as well. Like I'm trying to put them to be the different thing, but they're actually the same contact card. So if you go to that, actually not, if you type it at the top, tap it on the search. Yeah, right there. Ivan tests. There's a bunch of Ivan tests, but see how if you go click on the, yeah, see how there's it. You have two of them with the same contact card. You did not change the first one. You literally just, yeah, edited the original one. So bottom
Mhm.
line is, if you want to create a companion passenger case or something like this, do not use the copy lead button. Use the proper way, which would be creating a related contact and then promoting that related contact to lead. That's what we would suggest.
Mhm. Yes, and we can show you how to do that really quick, just for the demonstration. That
Yes, that would be great,
here
actually.
under contact, add related contact. And if they're already an existing, you can choose this option to search for them like you would a returning client maybe that had a previous case and now they're coming back. So you can select if they're an additional plaintiff, any other details. It's going to make me put in that relationship. And now we see Erica testing is associated with this Ivan test lead as an additional plaintiff. Okay.
All right.
All right. Something else I don't think we've talked about in a free help. Ivan, I'm not watching the chat or anything, so I don't know if you can see if there's anybody here asking any questions. Just feel free to interrupt me if we need to do that. But something I don't think we've talked about is that if you get a text in a lead that's been pushed over to FileVine, it will now show up in FileVine. Did you know that?
Yes, it
Wait.
shows up in the
Oh, yeah.
activity feed.
Yes.
Yes, in the activity feed. Yeah. So
Mhm.
we had previously really, talked about making sure everything's good in Lead Docket, right, before the push. But now we at least can give you that peace of mind that those messages, if someone does accidentally text the Lead Docket number, it will come over, like Edie mentioned, into the activity feed. I didn't know you were there, Edie. Sorry.
Mhm.
No worries. So let's do that really quick. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. So let me find an open case. Let's see if I can find one for me. All right, so I'm going to send a text over to this. I'm also going to get our FileVine sandbox pulled up.
And there is another thing that I don't know if you've seen that's also like a recent update where note, if you leave a note on that lead, that note actually is turned into a note in FileVine.
Yes, notes too. Love.
Note too, and there is even the ability to tag somebody, although it's not very easy. But if in that note you type at and use their username, it actually creates a task in FileVine. Not just
Really?
yeah,
Right, I did not know that. I know
yeah,
that also when you refer a lead out and they post a note, and you push it to FileMind, it'll come in under the activity tab as well.
yeah. Look at that.
So here we go, 317 on 11/6.
Awesome.
There's my text.
Go ahead and leave a note. Try the note right now. Let's see how that
Okay,
goes.
let's do it.
Now, again, this is only if it's a user generated test note, right? If it's a system one, it's not gonna, it shouldn't do it.
Mm,
So it's only if you type like manually actually type the note.
there we go.
It's pretty cool. And you can use tagging. So if you try to write a note right there, because here's the annoying part is that it's hard for you to know their username. But go back to FileVine. Do you know what your username is in there?
Mm,
Try to type at here, Erica 3. Yeah.
mhm.
So just type that in Lead Docket. Type like at Erica 3. Here's a task. Yeah. That
Oh,
look,
wow.
see, it creates a task due to yeah, it's a task to you now.
That's so cool. I did not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Now the annoying part is they have to know their username, which is
Mm,
not something that people know. So
right.
I don't know how useful that is, but
It
yeah.
would be nice if the users in Lead Docket could map, like you can add it like you do in FileMind. Like that would be a nice feature.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That would be
But
So
nice.
the firms using this that like would see this to their advantage, maybe they could use some sort of like shortcut macro or something like that
you
where they would
could.
where they wouldn't necessarily have to memorize the username. They could just have it be somehow tied to the user's initials, something easier for them
Yeah.
to remember, maybe.
Absolutely. Anyway, that's just kind of a hidden feature.
Cool. And I believe it works with documents too, right?
Yeah,
That's
document for sure. Yeah, if you send a document or something, it gets posted there for sure. Yes, for
okay.
sure. Yep. That's pretty cool. That's it. I think those are the recent updates.
Cool. Just seeing if my picture comes over in.
I think it's gonna show up in the docs.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And I
Yeah,
think I have that hidden here. Yep. Okay.
so it's not gonna show up in the notes, but yeah,
That's okay. No
awesome.
worries. All right. Do we have any
I
questions?
don't think so. I think I want to keep today as a quick review of
Yeah.
this, and hopefully this is going to be helpful for people that start to look at this filtered button and say, "What is this?" Um, so here's probably a quick recap and quick review of that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Let us know
Yeah,
if you have any questions about these new features or anything that Vine Skills can help you guys out with in terms of Lead Docket.
that's right. Thank you, Erica.
Thanks, guys.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.